What if the smallest, most awkward corner of your yard, the one you've been walking past for years without a second thought, could actually become the most productive growing space on your entire property, using nothing more than a stack of cinder blocks you can pick up for a few dollars each? Stick with me, because by the end of this, you're going to know exactly how to build your own cinder block garden bed and keep everything you plant in it healthy and thriving, no matter how small your space actually is. If you've ever assumed you needed a big backyard to grow your own flowers or vegetables, I want you to let that assumption go completely. A cinder block bed is one of the single best solutions for small space gardening in the United States. Whether you're working with a narrow side yard, a tiny urban lot, a rental property where you can't dig into the ground, or even a small patch of concrete patio, cinder blocks are inexpensive, incredibly sturdy, require zero building skills beyond stacking them in a shape you like, and best of all, the hollow openings in each block double as built-in planting pockets, meaning your garden bed isn't just a container. It's actually two gardens in one, the main bed in the center, and a ring of smaller individual plantings running right along the border. Let's talk about why this particular method works so well for beginners specifically. Unlike wooden raised beds, which require cutting, measuring, and at least basic carpentry tools, a cinder block bed is genuinely as simple as arranging blocks into a rectangle, square, or even an L shape to fit an awkward corner, then filling the center with quality soil. There's no need for screws, nails, or glue. The weight of the blocks themselves holds the structure together. And if you ever want to reconfigure your layout, expand it, or move it entirely, you simply pick the blocks up and rearrange them. This makes it a genuinely forgiving project. If your first attempt isn't perfectly level or symmetrical, it's incredibly easy to adjust without starting over from scratch. To build your own, start by choosing your location and marking out the shape you want with a hose or some string. This gives you a visual sense of scale before you commit to laying anything down. Clear the area of grass and debris, and if you're placing your bed directly on soil, lightly level the ground so your blocks sit evenly. Begin laying your cinder blocks around the perimeter of your marked shape, positioning them so the hollow openings face upward. This is what allows you to use them as extra planting pockets later. For a small space, a single layer of blocks is often enough for shallow-rooted plants. But if you want more soil depth for vegetables like tomatoes or peppers, simply stack a second layer of blocks on top, offsetting the seams slightly for added stability, similar to how bricks are laid in a traditional wall. Once your structure is in place, line the bottom with landscape fabric to help with weed control while still allowing proper drainage, then fill the center with a blend of quality garden soil and compost. Now here's where the real magic of this design comes in. Those hollow openings running along the top of your cinder blocks aren't just structural, they're genuinely useful planting spots. Fill each opening with a small amount of soil and tuck in trailing plants like sweet alyssum, creeping thyme, or strawberries along the border, or use them for small pops of color with marigolds, petunias, or even a few individual herb plants like chives or parsley. This border planting technique softens the somewhat industrial look of bare concrete blocks, and it dramatically increases your total growing space without requiring any additional square footage in your yard. For your central bed, choose plants suited to your available depth and sunlight. A single layer of blocks, offering around 8 inches of soil depth, works beautifully for lettuce, herbs, radishes, and most flowering annuals, while a double-stacked bed with closer to 16 inches of depth can comfortably support deeper-rooted vegetables like tomatoes, peppers, and even compact varieties of squash or cucumbers bred specifically for small spaces. Now let's talk about light and temperature, because even the most beautifully built cinder block bed needs the right growing conditions to actually thrive. Most vegetables and flowering plants need 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight daily, so before finalizing your bed's location, spend a day or two watching how sunlight moves across your available space, paying close attention to shadows cast by fences, buildings, or trees that might not be obvious at first glance. One important consideration specific to cinder block beds is thermal mass. Concrete absorbs and retains heat throughout the day, which means the soil directly against the block walls tends to run noticeably warmer than the center of your bed, especially during summer. This can actually work in your favor during cooler spring and fall months, giving heat-loving plants like tomatoes and peppers a little extra warmth right along the edges. But during peak summer heat, this same effect can occasionally stress plants too close to the blocks, so it's worth keeping your most heat-sensitive plants toward the center of the bed during the hottest stretches of the year. There's genuine scientific research that helps explain why this thermal mass effect happens and why it matters for your growing success. Concrete and masonry materials have a relatively high specific heat capacity, meaning they absorb significant amounts of solar energy during the day and release it slowly over several hours, a well-documented principle in building science that applies just as directly to garden structures as it does to buildings. This is actually the same reasoning behind traditional heat-retaining garden walls used in cooler European climates for centuries to extend growing seasons. On the human side, research on small-space gardening and urban horticulture has shown that even modest growing spaces, container gardens, small raised beds, and compact urban plots provide meaningful mental health benefits comparable to larger traditional gardens. Studies specifically focused on urban gardeners have found notable reductions in reported stress and improvements in overall life satisfaction, suggesting that the size of your growing space matters far less than the simple act of regularly engaging with living plants. Watering a cinder block bed requires slightly more attention than an in-ground garden, partly because of that same thermal mass effect, and partly because raised beds in general tend to drain and dry out faster than native soil. Check your soil moisture by pressing a finger about 2 inches into the center of the bed, watering deeply whenever it feels dry rather than sticking to a fixed schedule. Water at the base of your plants rather than overhead. And pay particular attention to the border plantings tucked into the block openings, since these smaller pockets of soil hold considerably less moisture than your main bed and often need watering slightly more frequently, especially during hot weather. Early morning watering remains the best practice here too, giving your plants time to absorb moisture before the heat of the day accelerates evaporation. Fertilizing and pruning follow familiar principles, but deserve a small adjustment for this particular setup, because a cinder block bed typically has a defined, contained volume of soil. Nutrients get used up and washed through somewhat faster than in traditional in-ground beds, so plan to work compost into your soil at planting time, and follow up with a balanced fertilizer every 3 to 4 weeks during the active growing season. Your border plantings in the block openings, having such a small soil volume, benefit from a slightly diluted liquid fertilizer, applied more frequently, roughly every 2 weeks, since they simply don't have much reserve nutrition to draw from. Pruning follows the same basic rules as any garden: deadhead spent flowers to encourage continued blooming. Pinch back trailing border plants like creeping thyme to keep them tidy and prevent them from spreading too aggressively over the blocks, and remove damaged or yellowing foliage promptly to keep your plants focused on healthy new growth. Lot Clodat design is worth a little extra thought too, since one of the biggest advantages of cinder blocks over other raised bed materials is how easily they adapt to unusual, oddly shaped spaces. A narrow side yard might call for a long, single-row rectangle running the full length of the space, while a small square patio corner might work better as an L shape that wraps neatly around an existing structure, like a fence post or downspout. Because blocks simply stack rather than requiring cuts or joints, you can experiment with your layout before committing, laying blocks out dry, walking around them, and adjusting the shape until it genuinely fits the flow of your space. Many small space gardeners eventually connect 2 or 3 separate cinder block beds together over time, creating a modular growing system that can expand gradually as budget and enthusiasm allow, rather than requiring a large upfront investment or a single big weekend project. It's also worth addressing durability and longevity. since one of the quiet advantages of cinder block beds is just how little maintenance the structure itself requires compared to wood, which eventually rots, warps, or needs to be replaced every several years. Cinder blocks are essentially permanent, weather-resistant, and unaffected by moisture. Meaning, once you've built your bed, the structural side of the project is genuinely done. Your ongoing effort shifts entirely toward the soil and plants, rather than any concern about the bed itself failing or needing repair. This makes cinder block beds a particularly smart long-term investment for renters or anyone who anticipates moving in the coming years, since the blocks themselves can be fully disassembled, transported, and rebuilt in a new location without any real loss of material or function. For beginners specifically, I'd also encourage starting with just one modest bed before expanding. Even something as small as 3 feet by 4 feet is enough to grow a genuinely satisfying mix of a few vegetables, herbs, and border flowers, and it gives you the chance to learn how your particular space, sunlight, and watering rhythm actually behaves before committing to a larger footprint. Once you've successfully grown through one full season, you'll have a much clearer sense of exactly how to expand your setup in a way that fits both your available space and the amount of time you genuinely want to spend maintaining it. Even with careful planning, beginners occasionally run into a few common issues with cinder block beds. So let's troubleshoot the most frequent ones. If plants near the block edges show more heat stress or wilting than those in the center, this is that thermal mass effect at work. Simply relocate your most heat-sensitive plants toward the middle of the bed and add a light layer of mulch along the edges to help buffer the temperature swing. If you notice your border plantings drying out significantly faster than your main bed, this is completely normal given their small soil volume. Watering these pockets separately and slightly more often usually solves the issue. Some gardeners worry about chemicals potentially leaching from cinder blocks into their soil. Current research on this concern suggests the risk is minimal for and ornamental adjacent plantings, though if you're specifically concerned about edible crops, lining the interior walls of your bed with landscape fabric before filling with soil adds an extra layer of separation. For peace of mind, if your bed's soil seems to compact or settle significantly after the first season, simply top it off with fresh compost each spring. This is a completely normal part of maintaining any raised bed over time. What makes a cinder block bed such a genuinely smart choice for small space gardeners is how much it accomplishes with so little investment. For the cost of a few dozen blocks, often available secondhand or at a steep discount from local hardware stores, you get a sturdy, weed-resistant, heat-retaining growing structure that maximizes every available inch of your space through those clever border planting pockets. It's forgiving, enough for a complete beginner to build in a single afternoon, yet functional enough to support a genuinely productive little garden season after season. So take a look at that small, overlooked corner of your yard, the narrow strip beside your driveway, the awkward patch near your back steps, and picture what a simple ring of cinder blocks could do with it. Pick up a stack of blocks this weekend, mark out your shape, and start building. Because your small space has far more growing potential than you probably realize, and unlike so many home improvement projects, this one genuinely rewards you with something you can taste, smell, and enjoy all season long. If you love learning about seasonal flowering plants, vegetables, gardening tips, and nature care, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Nature Nurture Hub, your home for year-round garden inspiration. Let's keep growing together.